life, wisdom.
Psychetruth, massage.
Okay, here we are. Happy Easter. How many of you hunt for Easter eggs? You know, I don't even know what that's about. Why are we looking for Easter eggs? Tell me why we're looking for Easter eggs, if any of you know, because I don't really get into much of this stuff anymore. And I have never asked the question, why do we hunt for Easter eggs? Okay, something else I'm going to show you is this is just coconut oil. It's food grade coconut oil, so it's very good and pure. And coconut oil is something that is real good for the skin. It's good for a lot of things. It's good to cook with, good to eat. You can spread it on your bread, toast, skin. There's a lot of things that we can have or could have around that could be kind of multi-purposes and save a lot of money on a lot of products that maybe wouldn't give us the quality that some of this natural stuff does. So I'm just going to work a little bit on the face today. When you do this working on the face, you want to always bring everything upward as much as possible. This is because gravity will take its toll. Now here I'm just following the cheek line, but I'm finishing coming upward. Gravity takes its toll. The skin is very delicate on the face. So you want to do things to help it lift and stay upward. As we grow older, we do have effects of gravity as our skin does sag. We don't think of it like that, but it is partly because of gravity. And just the shoulders, the forehead. And this is massage, not any lymphatic techniques with this. And coming in right along the hairline. Now when you're on this part of the face, where the temple is, this is where the sphenoid bone is. Don't go into that part with a lot of force, with a lot of pressure. It's pretty tender in there, and there is a sphenoid bone underneath it, and it's just really not very comfortable either to have it be pushed on. So be mindful of that spot under the eyes. If you can, stay right on the orbit, which is the edge of the eye socket, and let those attachments be worked as you come around the orbit. And you can come into the center of the nose there and catch the orbit on the upper part of the eyes. When you're working around people's eyes, be careful not to have, maybe sometimes scents might irritate the eyes. Be very careful not to get anything in the eye. And then along the nose bridge, there's some nasal bones here. And you can lift that up. This is a little cranial technique. You can kind of grab a hold of that and lift that. And then I'm going to work just down the nose here on either side. Now if you're very, very, very gentle and the person doesn't have contacts in, you can also do it with contacts, but you have to be extra careful. You can drain the eyes by just grabbing a hold of the eyeball very gently and then rotating slightly, very slowly. This is a lymphatic technique that you can it's very, very restful and relaxing to have that done, as long as you're very gentle. Very, very gentle. Oftentimes I'll get children, after I work with them a while, children will let me drain their eyes. They actually get pretty good with the work, the little ones do, because they know they feel so much better afterwards. This is just a little work along the eyebrow, but I'm also on the orbit. And then you can go very lightly across the eyelids. And even a little bit of kind of pulling up, or you're on the eyelid very, very gently and just giving little pulses in an upward and outward direction, kind of like the rays of a sun would be. Okay, back under the chin. And then here is, we're going to take this down because this is a watershed, but we are going to take this down a ways to about close to the corner of the mouth and then bend it back upward. And again, down, and you take a little bit more of a pull on your way up. You go gentler down because you are going in a downward motion, but then you want to give a little more pull up. You can get along the ears, behind the ears. You can take and kind of, it's kind of a rotation, but you don't want to do it hard. And I say that only because a lot of it is the way that I like to have the sensations be. And I don't like anything that's real invasive. It breaks my relaxation, and I find myself just having to be like on the defense, just holding back this more aggressive work. And it doesn't lend for me to be relaxed. And I go to get relaxation massages to relax, although I haven't gotten one in quite a while. I'm more of a cranial person or lymphatic person or acupuncture. Those are things that I engage in more often than regular massage. And I don't really know why that is. It's just a preference. It may be in part that after a while I had so many people that wanted to trade with me with massage work, and I'm rather picky about it, and it just got to be too much. So I didn't feel it was a good barter for the most part. So I just backed off of massage probably about 4 or 5 years ago from actually getting very many. Although I still recommend people getting them. I think it's a good thing to do. I myself, though, have some different focuses now for what I need. And this is a little lymphatic on the neck. Now there's some neck work that can be done along this, the trachea, there's an area there that you can feel. There's a hyoid bone, and then underneath that. And you can take your fingers and kind of glide. It feels like there's little, like Venetian blind slats. It's like little rib cage or something. And you can get your finger between each one of those, but don't push hard on the neck at all, because this is a real tender place. And some people will guard their neck. Some people have had strangling issues. Sometimes when babies are born with the umbilical cord wrapped around their neck, they will have issues later on in life. I have had several people come to me with severe neck issues, so much so in one case that she couldn't even wear a turtleneck. She could have nothing around her neck. And after some cranial sacral work and some other work about it, she was fine. She was able to wear turtlenecks and scarves and got over that whole fear of the neck, of being strangled. So be mindful of things like that when you're working with people. We don't really know what their path has brought them, so we just want to honor their space and approach their sacred space with respect and non-aggression. The clavicle is always nice. I'm going to put a little bit more of this coconut oil on. I really like coconut oil. Here's just a little bit more to get into the clavicle where the neck is. Is coming into this bone here, these two bones. That's the clavicle, and right here is where the clavicle and the sternum come together. It's called the Sternoclavicular Junction. There's a little notch there, sternal notch right there. This is where the entire shoulder girdle is attached to the skeleton right here. So all the rest of this is just balancing up on top of your rib cage. And if you think about it, your ribs, your lungs underneath the ribs are air, and when you're standing properly with the pelvis holding the center, then you're able to relax up into the thorax and become air, suspended in air. So there's much more of a suspension feeling. Mechanically, when you're holding like a bowl of water in the center, in the hip area, in the pelvic region, and if you can imagine there being like a bowl of water there and you're holding that very steady, then your movements are going to be much more graceful, and you're going to have a lot more mobility with the movement because you're structurally in the proper balance for the body to move quickly in any direction. And as the abdomen and the core strength of your body is developed, then you'll find that you can do a lot more. Things are you're just stronger because of the way that you're holding yourself and carrying yourself. So be mindful of some of the postural things. I know posture is kind of a boring thing, but posture is really everything as far as how our body aches and pains happen. Okay, so this is just a little work, just a little piecing together, letting you get some ideas from different things to do and put it into your own format and do a great job for your clients, your friends, and your family. Thank you so much. It's Athena Jezik.
Those are the eggs.
Yeah.